Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing? Welcome to From the Ashes Radio on About Face Media. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a great week. Looks like we're coming together slowly but surely. What you don't realize is we have a giant monitor behind us now. Well, not behind us, behind you. So,
Outstanding. Thanks for asking.
and you look good. And that's the important.
Haggard, but it's
No,
okay.
you do not.
I pull off haggard well. Okay, so I just want to point out the obvious. I still can't read the fucking comments.
But it's on now. Look at how much it's turned on.
I like nature and landscape too.
But every week we're just a little bit closer.
You know, your wife said every week you're just a little bit closer. Would you really be fucking getting anywhere?
I mean, I would. Isn't that the important part? I mean, look, she didn't say I was her best. She said I did my best. French for, well, good effort. I love the Zyn things. So we were in Las Vegas last week.
Do you know they're fucking cheaper in California?
That's retarded.
What the fuck
does
does
that
it
work?
matter with Colorado, bro?
I mean, I
Like,
have a list.
I was
Holly
getting
Miller
the-
is here. Holy crap. Holly Miller. Holly, I'm so glad you are here. Thank you, Holly. Glad you're here. Holly Miller was one of my co-workers back in 0304. So I'm glad she's here.
She still acknowledges
I know. Well,
you and wants to
she's
hear
like,
your voice.
hello, Nathan Hucker. Dude, what were you in Cali for? I assume like a gay pride rally or something. What were you in
Close.
Cali for?
Funeral.
Somebody you knew died?
Yeah.
Somebody you used to work with?
No.
Oh. All right. Well, wow. I feel like a dick now. Thanks.
It's okay.
How was Cali?
It was. We had to have a chat.
That was a cool little
before.
rap right there. Ooh, that was awesome.
We had to have a chat before we got on the air because I knew you wouldn't believe me. I was thoroughly impressed with how less fucked up it was than I thought it would be. But it's me, so I assumed the worst.
Yeah. Right. We
So I mean, to a degree, but like little things, like my fucking Zyn was $3 cheaper everywhere I went. Not one place. Like there's a general ish that you pay here. The general ish. So like just weird little things was like, maybe we're even more fucked up than them.
It bothers me how many folks are leaving Colorado and
for somewhere else.
Yeah. And my attitude is no, stop. We need to plant our feet. This is our state, and we need to take our state.
Is it that for that period of time where we had that crazy fluctuation of California to Colorado, that we were getting the shit ones? Like we were getting the shit that they didn't even want.
Remember 10 years ago where we had the number one nation or number one economy in the nation?
Yes.
10 years ago. Probably more like 12 years ago. 12 years ago now. Number one economy in the nation. It was insane. And like this place it was nuts. Everybody's building everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now. Yeah. And now it's fucked. I love this state. It's a great state. But I mean, like hunting season. You can't get a hunting tag right now. And they're doing away with over-the-counter hunting tags. And hunters right now. So they're doing away with over-the-counter hunting tags for residents. If you're from out of state, because an out-of-state hunter it costs them $700 to get an over-the-counter hunting tag. Yeah. But it costs me $36 to get a hunting tag. Dude.
I would say by land, but then you end up with land next to a liberal and you can't live free. So,
but we need to take our state back is essentially what has to happen. And guys like the guy we had on a couple of weeks ago, what's his name? Fabricor? How do you say his last name? You can say it. I can't.
Fabs.
Yeah, Fabs, essentially. We need to get that guy. We need to get Jason Crow out of fucking office.
Dude, that guy's a turd.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
the
just
least.
so that everybody knows. I love when
Is
like
the hunting tag thing related to the kill off 2 years ago on the Western Slope? It is not. That is not what is related to, Kent Collins, but I like your attitude. That is not what it is related to. But I do love where your head is. Talk to Hess about this one. Because but I like where your head is. What did you start to say?
you know, I love when I had a Democrat friend be like, well, Jason Crow, he was a Ranger. Don't you love him?
Do you remember him hiding under the fucking desk on January 6th?
Do you know how many dumb shit Rangers I don't like?
Yeah, there's that too.
That I know very well.
Yeah.
And you know how many dumb shit snipers somebody else is saying, and they know there's one that's an asshole. Like it doesn't give you the free pass with me, and it shouldn't give you the free pass with anybody just because you're a veteran or whatever. Anyway,
Well, there was that
That guy's a
douche
turd.
canoe a couple of fucking years ago that finished at West Point, and he fucking opens up his uniform and he's got, what is it, like communism will fucking win or some shit like that.
oh yeah,
like
yeah,
2-3 years ago, and you're like, why is that dude not getting dogpiled by his classmates right now and just getting his
Cameras.
ass handed to him?
We need to do away with cameras. No more public cameras. Fuck that.
I asked that question a couple of days ago.
Fucking over it.
The TV show Cops and cops wearing body cameras. All that demonstrated is that the public is a
Is
bunch of fucking
fucking
douchebags.
Terrible.
It did not show police abuse like people expected it to.
No.
Instead, it showed
That's why, like, I
that
love
fucking the
when
public was a bunch of jerks.
I was like, I commonly ask my buddies, and I'm like, you guys really don't,
Can't
the fucking camera really doesn't bother you, does it? And no, it just always shows how fucking stupid as shit we deal with. And I'm like, I know. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is that guy out there in that incident.
Oh yeah,
But compared to the hundreds of thousands of just shit constantly of our society, us, you and me, I'm putting it into it.
it shows that we're shitty
us.
parents and can't
Mhm.
fucking parent our kids, and our kids are little fucking turds. Like what was the mayor of Aurora, not the current mayor, the mayor of Denver's kid, when he got pulled over, instead he treated the cop like a fucking asshole, and all on camera.
Like the
Do you know-
DA,
do you know who
the
my dad
DA in New
is?
York.
Yeah, dude, you should get fucking tased.
I would have tased the shit out that bum bitch.
I
Fuck
asked,
Karen, bro.
I asked my cop friends all the time, did you get to tase a hippie today? No, day was a waste, wasn't it?
I don't even want to tase the hippies no more. I kind of like the hippies.
I know, I'm kind of the hippie.
Amongst everything going on, you haven't heard
The
me
yoga
say,
hippies are
"Fuck
growing
the
on you,
hippies,"
aren't they?
too. Bro, what the fuck, man?
They're growing on
Dude.
you, aren't they? Once you get past the, well, there's no meat in this dish, you're still an okay person. That's awesome. Steve Valancourt. Steve Valancourt, what do you think of the new sound? He sounds 100 times better. Thank you, Steve Valancourt. I made some adjustments to your mic and to your audio based on what Steve Valancourt gave me for feedback.
I don't trust you.
I wouldn't. You should not.
So here's the thing.
You should not.
If it would have been me and I got the mic socks, I would have gotten you one that looked like a dick.
Well, yeah.
You're the kind of guy that changes it and I sound like RuPaul or something. And I don't know. Like, I would have done the dick and you'd have known it would have been funny.
Yeah. Yeah. What you can't see right now, Steve Valancourt, is there's a monitor behind on the other side here. So that makes the shit bigger. So yeah, whatever, man. You get the point. He still needs to move the fucking microphone so we can see his face. Very unwelcoming. You're very unwelcoming.
I've never heard that
I
before.
know you haven't. Jeff Turner says, what up? He sounds 100 times better. Jeff Turner. Thank you, Jeff Turner. What's up with you, man? Glad you're here. In just a few minutes, we're going to have Dave Morrow with the Hard to Kill podcast. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be good. We have, Sky Blue Radio is here. Sky Blue, glad you guys are here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. For those that don't know, ICE is back with a brand new edition on WTF Radio. So if you're not here, you should be there. Really appreciate you guys listening in. Do love our friends with WTF Radio. Immediately after this, do not change the radio. You're going to have Kendra with PTSD and pageants. She's got a great show going on. She's addressing burnout tonight. So that's going to be a great show. You're going to love her. But yeah, definitely our Carl for the evening is fucking Jason Crow. Fuck that guy. Can't
that
stand
guy.
him. Just because you got a Ranger tab, man, doesn't mean shit to me. I appreciate it. Glad you did what you did. Fuck that guy.
We brought
definitely
up the
earned our
same
car off.
subject. I laughed so hard. We brought the same subject. Me and the wife brought the same subject
Jason
a week
Crow.
ago. Well, kind of. Yes and no. And it trickled into, I was like, every fucking village has their idiot, like,
Jason Crow's
and I
ours.
was talking about fucking, I have so many, I list hundreds of people with Ranger tabs I'll talk highly about, but there's this one short,
I don't know if
fat,
you can
dumb
see that.
fucker,
F that guy.
that showed up. And this one time he made it through Ranger school and he thought he was hot shit and he came back and I was like, oh God, if you have one, I just don't even want one.
Yeah.
Everything has the guy that just changes it. There's no
Ruins it for
blanket.
ya.
There's no blanket. Love America doesn't mean love all Americans. I mean, let's just be real. Let's just be real simple.
Love my country, hate my government kind of thing. Yeah, I get
Right.
you.
Come on now.
And there's that guy.
But
Yeah.
not all of them in it. Just all of them, except for one or two. I don't know. Nutty days. Nutty days, my man.
And he is that guy. What else about Cali though? I mean, beautiful state.
I saw some
country.
Trump banners hanging over on ramps and shit like that when I was going through the freeways.
So weird.
Dude, I'm telling you, I can't make this shit up.
It's like the inverse of what
It wasn't like everywhere I looked was red. I'm just saying, and I'm sure if I would have looked the other direction, I would end up seeing a Harris one. I just didn't what I was prepared for.
It's such
know.
a beautiful state.
It
It's such
is.
a
It
beautiful
is
place.
beautiful. I went to the Getty. You know what the Getty is?
I don't.
It's a museum in the city, completely free, donated by this dude. And they have a
Getty.
fucking garden in the middle of it.
Okay.
Oh my god, so cool.
The Getty. All
The
right.
Getty.
I'll have to look it up. I never heard of
It's a
such a thing.
famous museum. I went to Hollywood sign.
You did,
Yeah,
and
it was white and big and said Hollywood. Big white and said Hollywood.
yeah. I mean, I understand. Yeah, I when you told me you're going to Cali, I'm like, how peculiar.
It was.
Do you have a place that you'll never go again, like under any circumstances? I'm not.
I
saying
have
foot in this
no.
place. Or a place that you can't wait to get to again. Like Kansas, I will take Nebraska and go north or through Nebraska. I avoid Kansas at all costs.
I look. I'm from Nebraska, and I consider Kansas the same fucking state. No, I really do. And some of my one of my absolute favorite person in the world is in Kansas, and I got friends there, and I like Kansas. I
Do
like
you really?
Midwestern fucks too. But I just think Kansas is the same as.
I ran out of
Nebraska.
gas on the bike and you're out front. I ran out of gas in Kansas, and yeah, like I said, I'll go down through Oklahoma. I'll go up through Nebraska. I'll avoid Kansas at all costs.
I mean, I avoid riding through anywhere flat.
Yeah, it's awful. It's just well, no, I can't say that because I did Arizona and went down through the reservations. The reservations was a rough ride. That was open, flat, and hot. And
Don't break down,
no, do not break. No, you're gonna die. Yeah. You'll literally die. But in Kansas,
dude. I went to
that was the longest walk I've ever been.
because of some of my friends in South Dakota that are raised on reservation.
Thank you,
people.
Jeff.
Have taken me places before where we're like, hey, you don't ever go here without me.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
also, just because I'm with you, you still shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just close your mouth.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then they didn't need to tell me too, but there's some rough reservations where you mind your P's and Q's.
yeah. I forget. I mean, I've run out of gas in like Wyoming. No big deal. We're good. Easy walk to the gas station.
I've never ran out of gas.
Are you
I
serious?
had somebody else run out of gas on my motorcycle, but no, I never ran out of gas.
Well, when I go on long rides, I carry 2 gas cans and I use them for other people more than I use on my bike.
Oh, yeah, you have one of those gas
Yeah.
can bikes.
Yeah. Junior runs out of gas a lot. I do not. But
How?
yeah. Him?
Yeah.
I don't know. What can I say? Harley jokes, but yeah.
Bro, I mean, I've never ran out of gas on one of my customs. Just saying. Anyway.
Hey, let's bring Dave Morrow on. People are waiting to hear from this guy, and we've waited a long time to have him on the show. Dave, how the hell are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Better now that you're here. What's going on, man? How's the day?
Dude, I'm doing the most stereotypical Canadian thing in the world right now. Is just looking at hockey fights on my phone.
Well, I mean, look, Canada has given us, and let's be clear, we already have one Canadian on About Face, and that is Jay Moon. We call her Moon Moon. We love her. So you are the second Canadian we've had on, and look, we're selective. You are the one.
Right.
So congratulations. Welcome to About Face from the Ashes. So welcome to it, man. We're glad to have you here. For those that don't know you, tell us about you. Let's start with your military history.
Sure. Actually, before I even get into that, you guys were talking about like Zyn pouches being cheap in California. I don't know. You guys don't pay attention to Canadian politics, but like you can't. They just brought in a law. You can't get flavored or even just regular nicotine pouches now without going to a pharmacist.
I actually did know that.
What the shit's going on?
Stereotypes, and you're making it worse, man.
I'm just weird. Like, you guys are complaining about, oh, it's $3 cheaper over here. We can't even get that shit anymore, man. There's going to be a revolt. There's going to be a full-on veteran
What do you
revolt.
feed your moose then?
Well, you know, we've got a fair diet of Molson X and other Canadian maple products that we got like serious reserves. So like they'll get by. I'm not worried.
Dave, that's awesome, man. We've been admiring you from afar for a very long time, so we are glad you are finally here, man.
I'm flattered. That's great. Thanks, guys. I wasn't sure if you guys were like, you know, like secretly like gay or there were some comments there about you going to California.
Secret?
Or you're like, well, I don't know, like you're going for like a gay pride thing, and I was like, okay, well, like, look, man, I'm all in on inclusivity. So you know what, like, but you know, you guys are cool. Like either way, like you go to California and hang out for a little bit, it's okay. Like I was just there. Like I'd be a hypocrite. I was just there like in March, so doing my thing.
Secret. Yeah, you were for the military influencers thing, right? The
no. I have been for that, but no, I was in California actually. I was doing this. Man, we can get into it, but I was doing this.
The place.
Yeah. I was doing this Navy SEAL like training for entrepreneurs. It was this fucked up idea that I had because I was in a bad place last October. I'm like, that's what'll fix my life. I you know what? All the training leading up to it actually did. That's the cool thing. So I'm really thankful. It's called The Project with like Bedros Keuilian, a bunch of Navy SEALs. I never got to do special forces up here because I bitched out. So I always had that in the back of my mind. Like I should have gone. So I'm like, I know I'll do it when I'm 42 years old and kind of beat up. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I went up to California to get like, harassed and humiliated by a bunch of Navy SEALs. It was great though. It was a good time. So that was the last time I was in the States, but I'll be in Atlanta actually the end of September for the Military Influencer Conference.
Nice, very nice. Well, so 2 weeks ago we had on Jenna. She was the millennial veteran.
Great people.
And she is she not the best?
Yes.
And I believe she's going to be there. She also writes for Task and Purpose. We adore her. She did really good interview. Had her kids on with her. Super cool chick. We like her a lot. So yeah, give her a high five when you see her.
I will. Yeah, she was actually a great I can't even remember how we connected initially, but it must have been just through her Facebook group, and then we just started chatting as fellow podcasters. And we met for the first time last year at the Military Influencer Conference. So and she's been great introducing me to just basically the American Podcast Network, which has been awesome. So yeah, shout out to Jenna.
She is cool like the other side of the pillow. We like her a lot.
I'm gonna write that one down. That's a good one.
It's not original, I promise, man. Nothing is original on this show. It's stolen from someone else. I promise you.
It's okay. This is international.
We're not that creative.
This is international. You guys have got a lot of stuff that I could just bring back to Canada and it'll be totally original. So, like, Dave, you're so funny. I'm like, yeah, I come up with this stuff, you know.
So tell us about your military service. So you joined the Canadian military. How does that work? Are you guys volunteers, right?
Yeah. Just like you guys, 100% volunteer. We have a different structure than you guys. We have a regimental British structure. That's kind of like the only thing that's really different. I was in the reserves. I joined at 19. I was in school with my best bud, and we're just bored. We wanted to pick up chicks. That was the main effort.
And that was your answer?
Did it work out?
Yeah. Like, as you guys know, that's the best thing to do, right? Join the military, shave your head, get a stupid tan. Women love that. They absolutely love it.
They love private
be gone
jail.
6 months of the year. Yeah. No, so we joined the recruiter who ended up being a buddy of mine down the road, was wearing his dress uniform, and we go up to him and like, hey, we want to join the military. He's like, yeah, just sign here. And yeah, not too long after, we were sweating our asses off and getting bit by bugs in the middle of Canadian wilderness. So I was in the infantry, and as a reservist here, you do school during the year, and then you basically show up in the summer and get yelled at for 3-4 months, and then go back to doing school and going back to work type thing. So that was pretty much my like rinse repeat cycle for a while. So I made up to the rank of sergeant, deployed in 2010 to Afghanistan. And again, for reservists, you have to really fight for your spot to get a chance to go overseas, especially during Afghanistan. Afghanistan was the first real war Canada has had to deploy to since Korea. Everything else was very like we didn't deploy like a battle group. So this was awesome, man. Everybody was like fighting for a spot. So I got to go in 2010, our last combat mission. And I actually got to hang out the entire time when I was there, the entire 8-month tour, with a bunch of American units. Initially, it was the 171 Cav out of New York State at 10th Mountain. Freaking awesome dudes, man. And I was like the only Canadian on camp. There was a small electronic warfare team and me. So I was the most senior Canadian on a camp of like, there was like 2 platoons on that little base. And I had so much fun. Like we were patrolling every day, hanging out, working out. Man, it was honestly, when I think back, this is the best work experience I've ever had in my life. Yeah, there was obviously some hard moments, but
Bro, you talk about
back
Afghanistan the same way I do.
Like like when I talk about people like, oh, it was so awful. I'm like, okay, yeah, there were awful parts, but shit, man, I had such a good time. I was constantly like chasing that dragon. It was the last mission for Canada, so I could never go back in that capacity. Plus, I got hurt, so that kind of did end my career. I really wanted to make it a full-time go, but I found love and a back injury. So I was like, well, I guess that does it for me. So I've stayed here in Montreal ever since. And, I left the military due to, a medical release because of my back in 2016. And I've just been involved more or less ever since like 2019 back in like the veteran community, because I kind of lost my way for a little bit there. And then I've slowly clawed my way back into the culture. So that's pretty much it. So I'm an open book, man. Gladly answer any other questions. Yes, we do create igloos up here when it's bad. It's hard to get electricity to them. So that's one stereotype taken care of. And maple syrup is a staple. And Molson is pretty much the beer of choice at all times. So I think that pretty much sums it up.
Like all right. Well, thanks for being on From the Ashes. And I think
hey guys,
all the questions we have. And we'll see you next Monday on From. No, that's not going to work at all. So yeah, you get out, you do your time, and you get out, back injury, you find love, all that good stuff. All sounds like basically every American soldier story as well. It's nothing changes, does it?
No,
not even a little bit.
Infantry 101.
Yeah. Tell the world about Hard to Kill. Where does this come from?
Well, so it was during my my darkest moments when I was really struggling, man. Like, so 2016, I was already working. I'm actually a high school teacher. Actually, I'm a principal by trade, but I gave that all up because it just wasn't the right fit. Being in a school, I was at the school I always wanted to teach at too. So I had like the best job in the world. The kids were amazing. I got to coach football. It was just a ton of fun. But even at that, it was still not the right fit. And I didn't realize I was dealing with some shit from tour. And it was starting to weigh on me. And I didn't know why, because I really I gave like double middle fingers to the military and like everything VA that was being thrown at me. I was like, I'm fine. Don't talk to me. My buddies are more fucked up than I am. I've got a career now. I got a wife. I got a house. I'm working on a family. Like, don't bother me with this shit. But it was just like, it was just gnawing at me. So eventually it ended up with me, just my back got really bad. And like the more you hold things in emotionally, I've realized now, like it manifests itself. And like the back injury was kind of like the moment where I just said, okay, enough. And I just couldn't move. Like I was messed up for a few weeks. So that kind of like flipped the switch in me that I had a kid already. I literally couldn't get out of bed. And for me, I'm like, man, if my family's in danger, this is hell for me right now. I can't do anything. I can't, it was like I was a paraplegic. So from then on, I was like, this has to change. So I hired a coach for my gym. He's been working with me ever since. So it's been 8 years going pretty steady on that. And I realized I didn't know what I didn't know in terms of health and fitness, because I was, I prided myself in being like army fit, right? I could run push-ups, pull-ups, ruck march all day. I was fit and I held my troops to that standard too. But then when I got out, I wasn't actually that fit. Like I wasn't strong. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'4", but I was just kind of lanky, and didn't have any core strength, and that made my back injury worse. So I just worked for years, just getting that stronger and stronger, and that just started reinforcing, hey man, this idea like being harder to kill. Like right now, I'm very easy to kill, and now that I have a family, this whole equation changes. I can't just be incapacitated when I'm out with my kids. So what am I going to do about it? So that just, and then I was here, like Tim Kennedy was talking about being hard to kill. So that kind of sunk in a little bit. In CrossFit, they're talking about being hard to kill. And I was like, yeah, being hard to kill is a thing. So it just kind of morphed. And during that process, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I had to get out of teaching. And at one point I just said, I have to quit. Like I'm done. My wife was not happy about that, by the way. I was just leaving my career with nothing. She's like, what are you going to do for money? I'm like, I don't know. Because I wasn't getting any VA benefits. Because I said, screw you guys. I don't need them. So I was just like blowing in the wind. I got some random job at a tech company. I got fired. That was not easy on the ego. And in that process, like a good infantry NCO, I did the most amazing thing ever. I just YOLO'd into being an entrepreneur with no money coming in. My wife just like pulling her hair out, like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start a company, and it's going to be about like training like military guys and veterans, because that's what I know. She's like, this is a terrible idea. I'm like, but are you sure? Like, are you sure? Because I think this is pretty good. And then get this. So I'm like not doing well. The like no money's coming in. I'm like, honey, I got an even better idea. There's a conference that I have to go to. She's like, oh, what's it for? I'm like, it's for entrepreneurs to get off the ground. She's like, okay, cool. And it's in Spain. She's like, excuse me, where is it? I'm like, it's in Spain.
It's free, right? No.
She's like, how are you going to get there? I'm like, I'm going to fly. She's like, when are you going? Well, I'm like, well, I already kind of booked it and I paid for it already. So I'm going. And the guy that sold me was a veteran from the UK. So of course he sold me, man. He pulled my pants down and spanked me and got me over there, man. And we're still buddies to this day. So shout out to Rich. But honestly, that was like the best decision I made, because I made awesome connections. I realized, yeah, this is what I want to do. But all that's to say is that was probably the boldest decision I made, because like my wife didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks after that. But that's how I got started. That's how I literally got started. I wrote a book. It's right there behind me, The Nimble Warrior, which was just my journey to help my back injury and help other guys not get as fucked up as I was, and to help, if they're in that situation, get a little bit better, and piece together some of the knowledge that I've learned over the few years. And then the podcast was really just an extension of that, because I was really bored too. Like I was sitting in my basement a lot of the times, not knowing what I was going to do, like lights off some days, just kind of like wondering like, dude, is this it? Like, oh man, maybe I really screwed up. So then I came up with the idea, just talk to people on Zoom, and then it just kind of snowballed. So kind of everything I went like ass backwards into, but like lucky for me, they've kind of turned out, and I get to chat with guys like you now, which if I was still teaching, I wouldn't be doing that. So it's been kind of a blessing, which I'm very grateful for.
I'm happy for you. And you know what else? You're an inspiration.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Somehow this man found a way to chase his dream and get his wife to quit talking to him for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been great. Two-week break, bro.
There are guys that are screaming at the radio.
Give me more
right
details.
Yeah.
Dude,
wait,
okay,
talk to him for 2 weeks?
2 weeks was just tip of the iceberg. Last like it built up. It got worse, man. Last year we even separated for like 6 months. But we're all good. We're all good. We got that out of our system. It's been 4 years we've been working on this. Business is doing better. So yeah, it all came to a head like a year ago. So like, she wasn't really over the fact that I went behind her back and started a business with no money. But yeah, all things considered, we're very happy where we're at right now. And I am too, man. But yeah, awesome. And the cool thing is too, like typical like infantry story, like she's my first wife. Thank God we didn't get divorced. and
that
like
is
her kids
not
are doing
a
well.
typical
Like,
That is
infantry
not
story.
typical.
Yeah,
infantry.
no,
well,
that's what I'm
not-
saying. Like typical infantry story. Like I should have been divorced. Like I really should have
Yes.
been.
Yeah.
Like I should be at
Wh-
least on wife 2. And like there's been hit and misses like along the way, but yeah. And inshallah, things are going really well. So
He said, "Inshallah." That's awesome. Oh my god, dude. What is in Montreal? What did she say? In Montreal, that's like
yeah, AM Rodriguez. AM Rodriguez, I guarantee is everybody here from like the Colorado area? Because I was going to say that he's from Boston or he's from New York, and he comes up.
She is.
Oh, she is?
She.
Knew it. How'd I call? They
She
come
is
up
an
in bus
angry
loads.
Bostonian.
They're like, hey, we're gonna go to the bar, and I'm like, oh, there you guys are. They just would show up in bus loads, and you knew for sure that night there's going to be a dust up. So if you wanted to like get your knuckles dirty, like great time to show up, and you knew who the guys were from Boston because they all had their polo shirts tucked in, and they were just ready to go, high in tights. That's not how we roll
Well,
it here, Like,
AM Rodriguez is going to be on the show after you are, so she will be talking an equal amount of shit. So yeah,
It's
and
probably-
That's why I've been shutting up over
Yeah.
here, just laughing.
and she
She's
carries
probably a
knives
Bruins
on
fan.
her, so she.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised.
We may have her on at the same time you are, so I will leave that one alone. But that's a whole nother thing.
She's in the
was just-
green room.
I was
talking
just-
shit.
Yes, she is. She's probably throwing things at the camera as we speak.
I was
trying
just
to get
watching
far
reels.
enough into your interview before it gets taken over.
This has been the best fucking interview ever.
Oh,
Anyway, Dave, I want to get you back to that lovely wife who you adore so
Yeah, of
much.
course.
Yes, first of all, thank you very much for being on From the Ashes. Hey, I want to be as respectful of your time. I'm going to hand you off to my hetero life mate over here. He gives the outgoing instructions. Make sure she's still. Oh my God, she's talking in all caps now. That can't be good. What do you call it? I'm gonna pass you off to my hetero life mate here, and and we're gonna go from there. He's all yours, homeboy.
All right, brother. Before Allie comes in, also just so she knows, Rob has the button for the green room, not me. The last 2 minutes of your time with us, you get to use it how you wish. Talk about what you want. If there's something we glossed over, you have all the time to. Not all the time. You get about 2 minutes. So, floor is yours.
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, one of the biggest things is my passion is getting veterans healthier, because I think we've got a chance here for like the next greatest generation on a smaller scale. But we deal with not just the regular health and fitness things that regular civvies do, but then we layer on post-traumatic stress, mild traumatic brain injury, toxic exposure. The list goes on and on and on. So I think before we can unlock our full potential, we just got to be healthier, man. So my main thing is I want to get as many veterans healthy as possible. My goal is to help 100,000 veterans lose 2 million pounds. So I create a group. It's totally free to join this month of August. I'm going to have another free group as well, but the main group is called Veterans Getting Fit AF. And what we do is we just chat about health and fitness. We bring on experts to literally chat with you about it and try to give you as much support as possible in a community environment. So that's kind of my goal. And that's why I do what I do, because I really see the power of being healthy and fit, and veterans that take that and run with it literally see the benefits, not only with their lives, but everyone around them as well.
I love it. What are your handles? Contacts?
Yeah, super easy, super easy. You can go on Instagram, Veterans Getting Fit AF. That's one of them. And then the Hard to Kill podcast on Instagram and YouTube are the other two ways to get a hold of me and listen to some of my content. And if you like me, if you weren't sure about this interview, you want to hear a little bit more, head over to those two platforms over there.
Or maybe you just want to jump on and heckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll take it. I'll take
No, we're good.
You should.
All right. Well, Dave, feel free to stay on. Well, Rob, will you please bring in Allie before you piss her off anymore?
Well, she's like, I'm pretty sure that's foam at the corners of her mouth right there.
Jesus.
So, well, Dave, I'd like you to introduce someone really special. Dave, this is Allie. Allie, this is Dave.
What's up, you fucking Canuck? How are you?
Hey, you know what? Everything before that's fine, but that's a hate crime. That's a hate crime right there.
What are you gonna do about it? Fucking cover me in maple syrup? You fucking maple leaf.
That's no. Hey, that's only me and my
Sick as
wife.
moose
that get
on
to
ya?
do that. Come on.
So
let's not
actually,
get
it's funny.
crazy.
So this package right here is actually going to a Canadian Army buddy of mine who just had a baby. So this is going to Deep River, Ontario. So
That's
that's
so deep. I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, yeah. Deep
Never
River,
heard of it.
Ontario. That's all I
Never
got.
heard of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
Just
Dave with the Hard to Kill podcast. Dave, I can't thank you enough for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media. Thank you so
do
much.
good
for
work,
being
man.
here.
I've been back here listening, and I commend you, and I appreciate what you're doing for our veterans.
Well, thanks, guys.
Well, you are veterans, not mine.
Yeah,
Yours.
I mean they're our. Let's say they're our veterans.
They
There
are.
people.
They are
right?
ours.
But,
Absolutely.
yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on, and more than welcome to come on my show at any time. We'll sort that out later.
We're going to have you back, Dave, because I want to hear more about what the Canadian VA is like.
I was so
I'm literally
curious
going
about
on-
the
I'm
second
going
he
on-
said VA.
I'm going on an X live in about a half hour, and we're just going to be shredding them to pieces, man. So
Oh
You're
my God,
my
I want
fucking
in
spirit
so
person.
bad.
I'll
want
email you the
Spirit
link.
person.
I'll
Well,
email
ladies
you
and
the
gentlemen, that's it for From the Ashes tonight. We're going to be tuning in to the Hard to Kill podcast. But yeah, Dave, thanks for being a part of the show. Love you. Have a great night.
link.
Great
Right,
to
guys.
meet
Have a
you.
good night. Cheers,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Allie, how the heck are
It's-
you?
It's so hard to hate on Canadians, man. Like I really had to dig deep to just it's so hard. I love the Canadian Army guys. I do.
The third word out of his mouth was a boot. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
so
a boot,
cool.
process, proceed.
And then he's
Like,
talking
why
about
they're
his
so
watching
cute.
hockey fights.
They're so cute. Yeah, no,
I
they're
know.
a good bunch of guys. It's hard to dislike them.
Yeah.
I
And then
have
he's talking about how he's
family in
watching hockey
Canada,
fights on
actually,
his phone. And
outside.
I'm like, that's what I would be doing if I wasn't on the radio right now.
Yeah, and like the family, because you guys know, like we're immigrants, and half my family ended up in Canada, and I'm like, you guys got on the wrong fucking raft. So they're in like Mississauga, Toronto area. But yeah,
You're Portuguese, was it?
Azorian, yeah.
Yeah, I knew something. What is he saying? I putting on.
I was putting the accent on thick for you.
I'm trying to get this monitor behind us to work so Seth and I can read the fucking comments because right now there's still little.
I took down his handles. I will be stalking him later.
It's his podcast is pretty banging, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Not that hard, Doug O'Connell says. Oh, that's what she said, Doug O'Connell. I'm not really sure.
I haven't spoken to Doug forever. Doug, my friend, how are you?
You know how he is. He's fucking taking names and slashing necks and cashing checks.
That's kind of hot.
Killing it in Texas. Well, I mean, it's
So
Doug O'Connell.
listen,
It's what he does. Talk to me, boss.
To talk about dying with a disability rating. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I hate the
Yeah.
term. I hate the term disability. You guys know it's compensation. So
My wife will get dick.
correct.
Dick.
Only if you die from what you are being compensated for, or you are at 100% for 10 years or more.
Oh,
If you lose your 100%,
Our wives get
like,
dick.
a year or two, and
Uh-huh.
then you go back to 100,
Uh-huh.
the clock starts over. So you
Oh.
have to. So if you are 100% for like 11 years and you get hit
Uh-huh.
by a bus, your spouse gets DIC. If
Oh.
you're 100% for 5 years and get hit by a bus, your family gets nothing.
God, I hope she's not listening. Fuck, dude, that won't be good.
So
She's gonna
if you
fucking
have-
slap the tires on the motorcycle if she hears that.
If you have illnesses, because typically we don't die from injuries unless the injury causes, something else, right? So if you have an illness, especially a presumptive, Vietnam guys, I'm talking to you, Blue Water Navy guys, Korea guys, if you were in the Korean DMZ, you were in Thailand, right? OIF, OEF, Southwest Asia. If you developed a presumptive disease, which is like any neck cancer, brain cancer, glioblastoma, any type of bronchial crap, asthma, Jesus Christ, sinusitis, rhinitis, which I don't know anybody who's died from that, but any type of these presumptive diseases, please file for compensation, because you may be okay now, but you don't know how you're going to be when you're 70, 80, right? So, and as wartime veterans, if you have less than $155,000 in income and assets, one house, one car does not count, you are eventually going to need in-home care, or you're going to end up in a nursing home or assisted facility, okay? Aid and attendance is there for you. You have to be a wartime veteran, and you have to have less than $155,000 in income and assets. One house, one car does not count. But your Social Security, your Roth IRAs, your money markets, your dividends, your savings accounts, your all of that counts as assets. So
is all this like recently changing, Allie? Because these sound like new rules.
The number used to be a lot lower. The number used to be 146,000, but the VA upped it to $155,000. Yeah. One house and one car don't count. So snowbirds, you have a house in Colorado, you have a second house in Florida. That second house in Florida is an asset.
So here we are doing our best, trying to up our income, save money, do our best to like stuff money away for our kids and shit like that. And instead we're biting ourselves in the ass.
Yes. However, with that, we deduct not we, because me, I don't fucking work for the VA. The VA will deduct your medication and your costs to live, I guess. So all your prescriptions, your copays, your premiums.
But I get all that shit from the fucking VA for free. Okay. All righty then.
You're on Medicare and you have Social Security. It's like $174 is taken out. So that counts. Depends, medical equipment, all of that. If you pay for in-home nursing care, like 16 hours a week, that counts.
Hold on one second. What the fuck are you looking at me and laughing for? What? Just because I've got them on right now.
Listen, I had a guy today.
When she said depends, she didn't mean like depends on this or depends on that.
Yeah, that depends. Depends.
In case you didn't know, Rob.
Right. So I had a guy today who deployed to Iraq. Yeah. And now he is incontinent. And he's a young dude. He's mid-50s. And he's like, I never in my life thought that this would be me. And I'm like, right, well, now you are here filing for compensation. So
what about Holly Miller's comment? Can you see that?
Look at putting stuff in a trust so you don't own it. The trust owns it. So they will look at that. They will absolutely look at trust. They do a year look back, a 3-year look back, and they're going to see if you sold, gave away any assets. But yeah, don't put your name on the trust. But then while you're still living, if your name's on the trust, you kind of lose your
immediately upon being in this situation, we donate everything we have to About Face Media down to 154,000, and we just write out. Everybody has the same plan now. We're good to go.
I tell people, like, do some home improvements, like get that Energy Star safety shit, add a roof, fix your plumbing, because you're going to have less than $155,000. Yeah. And I see it all the time. I see like widows
and blow.
Yeah. And if you transfer, like, let's say, you transfer money to your children, like as a gift or whatever, the VA is going to be like, because they share their information with the IRS, like, in 2024, you transferred $50,000. Where's that money? And you have to show that it was either a gift or it's a lot.
You can only give so much over a certain amount of time before it's taxed. There's all sorts of shit.
Right.
Basically,
but it is a really good program for those that qualify, especially if you need help with at least 3 daily living tasks. That's bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, walking. So if you need help with that.
This is for the veterans who really need it.
$10,000 a month, you guys. Did you know that? At least here in Massachusetts. I don't know what it is in Colorado, but anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Somebody we just had a neighbor that was talking to me about having their parent in a home, and it was like $17 a month.
Yeah, no, I know nursing
It's-
homes are fucking silly. Yeah.
And the food sucks. Like I don't
Oh.
know. I don't.
You know what? I don't
I'm
know.
scared to death to grow old, and I really think it's because I see like most of my clients are elderly, right? Vietnam era, Korean era, and the shit that they go through, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Are we even gonna have Social Security by the time we're old enough to retire? Are we gonna have like Medicare?
No.
Like what the fuck? Like.
No.
So half of me wants to like squirrel away money and like Steven said, bury it. And the other half is like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to spend it and live my life the way I want.
Hookers and blow.
Folgers can, couple different Folgers cans but the rest of it, hookers and blow. Like, I don't understand this, like, let's build a certain thing for down the road. And I'm like, yeah, until you end up in a home and they just suck it all out of you.
And they do. And I see it all the time.
Nasty.
Like you should have a safety net, right? As homeowners, it's smart. Like you boiler breaks, you roof, right? You should have like $20,000 cash somewhere. But after that, like, is it even worth me leaving an inheritance for my kids? You know, like I don't know. I'm terrified.
Ladies and
to get
gentlemen,
old.
look up the brown, what's his name? The bald Indian, the brown Indian. Who's our investment
Do
guy?
not talk about my friend Elijah like that. I was saying that before. I was
Yeah.
trying to say it before you said investment guy.
Yeah, that is my fucking guy, man. That guy is hooking me up. That dude, look up the brown Indian or the bald Indian, whatever he is, and fucking.
Is
get
it
with
brown
that
or
guy.
bald? Or is it
He's
the brown?
both.
He's
bald?
both, but he is really an intelligent investment broker, and he's our friend. And God, that was a lot of inappropriate, even for me.
I know.
Jeez.
He's fucking awesome. He doesn't listen to the show because he's too busy crunching numbers.
Yeah, nerd. This is why
They
you're
all
like
are depressing me.
millionaire.
Yeah, well, Doug O'Connell, you're the fucking law guy. Talk to me, guy. You're the guy I should be coming to.
Is he
I mean,
coming
this
on
is not
after
your
me?
thing.
Or no? Is that next week?
No. That was Juan. That was JP, and that's Coach JP. No. Doug is too busy. Fucking, like I said, slashing necks and fucking cashing checks. He's too busy ruling the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doug, we do need. This is the kind of shit we need to talk about, guy. I mean, you're the kind of guy that we need to talk. Unless you know somebody. Doug.
Oh, here's something else.
Hit me.
If your parents are elderly and
They are.
you are like their medical proxy, right? Their healthcare proxy or whatever. And I ran into this week, and it's a pain in the ass. In order for your parents to give you power of attorney, they have to be of sound mind.
Oh, we're
Once
fucked.
they get their like dementia diagnosis or Alzheimer's diagnosis, they are no longer competent and they can't sign. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, because I just did this week and I got so much blowback. If they have a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's or are found mentally incompetent, you cannot have them sign a power of attorney because they are not of sound mind. So please get that shit done before they have the diagnosis of dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinsonism and all that.
I was gonna say, what if their sound of mind it is not ever or never was?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Don't put it
Well,
on
I mean,
Don't put it
we're
on
making-
paper. Don't get the doctor to do it. Have them sign it because now we have. So here's the story: we have a veteran who is living with this woman, and this woman just kind of like weaseled her way into this guy's life, and she's poisoned the whole family against the whole family. Oh, your son is doing this, your son's doing that. Meanwhile, the son's coming to me like, I got to get this woman away from him. And the woman coming to me and instant like negative vibes. Like I'm like, this woman is no good. So I told the son, you need to get the power of attorney. And he's like, my dad has an appointment next week at the VA. We think he has dementia. I'm like, fucking cancel that appointment. Come in, you do a notary, like we have a notary public. You need the power of attorney and the healthcare proxy and all that shit. Because bro, once he's deemed incompetent, that this lady can literally take everything he has, and he can't sign a power of attorney to the son who does have his best intentions at heart, but this lady doesn't. It's fucking awful. Like I have seen the worst of humanity come and walk through my door. It's disgusting.
Well, now add in you have a TBI because you got blown up in Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever the case may be. Now you got a whole nother layer to add to that thing.
So
it's definitely
typically
something to think about.
just having a TBI, and I'm not an attorney, so Doug, please feel free to chime in if I am wrong, but just having a TBI does not label you incompetent.
Correct, but you're at risk for early
Yes, for
onset
later on
dementia.
down the road. Yes, absolutely. Your percentage, your probability has absolutely exponentially increased. Yep,
And
that is
it's
a
going to
fact.
be worse.
Yeah.
Allie.
Also, if I got one more thing,
Hit me.
if you, so everybody's trying to get that 100%, right? Like, fuck, dude, we'd kill for 100%. But if you try to go for 100% for mental health, right? If you're at 70% for post-traumatic stress and you want to get that 100%, guys, be very, very fucking careful. Because if you go for 100%, the VA will issue you a fiduciary, or they will say you need a fiduciary before we give you your money. Because at 100%, you are not mentally competent to handle your finances. They will make you go to a competency hearing to make sure that you can handle your own finances. And if you are 100% service connected for mental health, it is very, very likely that the VA will issue you a fiduciary. So if you want to go to 100%, find another way, leave your 70% mental health alone.
Will it be a hooker with blow?
It could
Look,
be.
I'm just saying, if there has to be a fiduciary, I would prefer it not to be issued by the VA.
Yeah, no shit, man. Those motherfuckers are 15 billion with a B in debt.
Yeah,
I do
right.
not need to be
Right.
the next Britney Spears. Did you see her
Best
Did,
fucking
what
Instagram
the
account on the
fuck?
planet.
Who?
Man, she went cold for
Brittany?
Britney. Britney's back.
Allie, are
bitch.
you not
need to-
following Britney's Instagram?
Holy
Brittany
shit.
who?
Britney fucking Spears.
How many Britneys do you
Oh.
know, boss lady?
I don't know.
No, trust me.
I
I'm
don't.
the same
I
way,
don't
Allie.
think that's the real
But it-
Britney Spears. Her mouth is different. Like her smile.
No.
That's not the real Britney, dude. There's no
Allie,
way.
you're
that's the
missing
real Britney
out.
Spears. That's not the real Britney Spears. I mean,
You're
she
missing
comes
out.
across my feed in like a tube top and like dancing with knives and shit. But
That's
That's her.
Dude,
I don't think that's the real her. I think it's like a body
Jesus.
snatcher. I'm telling you.
even
Her-
better. You're
her
making the
face-
story better.
Her face is different. Look at from when she was in the headlines all the time for her music, and then look at her face now. Her teeth are different. Her smile is different. Like it's not the same Britney Spears
What?
when she was hot
What
at
do you
25 years
think
ago.
could
Yeah,
be
I mean,
causing that?
but I'm telling you, it's not. I don't think it's her. I think it's like a body snatcher. Could be
A couple
meth.
of years ago,
Could be
if you
meth.
told me I would have been watching the Britney Spears special on Netflix,
Mhm.
and then homeboy would be turning me on to her fucking Instagram account, I'd be like, "You're out of your damn mind,
I
dog."
know.
And it's
I'm
sad,
all in.
right? The same thing with Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was awesome. She was like from my childhood. She used to make me laugh, and now she's got a face that I didn't even fucking recognize.
It's rough to watch,
Like,
dude.
It's sad. That could be any one of us.
Do you know how much we're pissing off Eric Reed right now? He hates when we go down this rabbit hole.
Oh, sorry.
He's like, "Why are we
I
talking?"
mean, he doesn't
about
pay to
this
listen,
on
so
this
whatever.
show?"
So anyway, I'm on
He hasn't
here.
paid his subscription fees. Allie, what do you got for the safety brief for this week?
I don't have. Oh, please wear. I don't know about.
It's every fucking week.
Colorado.
How do you not know this shit?
I don't know what the laws are in Colorado, but in Massachusetts, you have to have a helmet. So please wear your helmets when you're on your motorbike. I just fucking threw it. It's not working
Do you wear a helmet every time you ride?
every time.
That's cool. Are you in a motorcycle gang? What's the deal with the picture?
Did you like that?
I did like that, but are you in a
There's a
gang?
lot of ass grabbing going on.
I mean, there were some, but are you in a gang? 'Cause
We're
that's
not a
super cool if
gang.
You are.
We are not
Yes,
a gang.
You are.
We're not a
You are.
gang. We're not a gang.
Do you do like
We're the-
creative dancing together as you like with other?
Yeah, the sharks and the jets, right?
Did you see that picture?
I did.
Yeah.
We are not a gang.
Got a little
wear your
diamond right
helmet.
here that says 1%
Check
on
your,
it.
Gang,
check-
gang.
yeah. Check your tire pressure. Check your tire pressure.
Good one. I like that one a lot. Check your tire pressure. That's a good
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
I would traumatize Allie if she saw me ride.
I know, dude.
Allie, I literally have like 22 inches of apes with like stretched out as much as I fucking can controls, and I ride in board shorts and flip flops,
Are you
And I don't-
serious?
and I ride like I'm the fucking third monkey everywhere I go.
I can't. I like my heart is racing right now just thinking about that.
Yeah.
And your
Fun.
wife
Is a beautiful woman who loves him very much. What do you got for the
You guys
safety
are
brief?
bringing her to the
She
wedding,
holds
right?
on tight.
She does.
You guys are bringing the missuses to the wedding.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All
They're dying to meet you.
Oh, I'm dying to meet them too. We keep up on
Yeah,
Facebook.
you're on my fridge. There's not much on our fridge, but you are on our fridge.
I'm on the fridge.
You're on the fridge. What do you got?
Thank you, ma'am.
Folks, sometimes when you see shit on the news, it's not fake. Do not, I repeat, do not fly Frontier. It is not safe. When they start fucking fixing the plane with magical tape, it's not safe.
That is
And you,
very,
sir?
very real. Hey, get that shit in writing. Contractors, do better. Get that shit in writing, ladies and gentlemen. What is Holly saying?
Holly needs to
Need
get
to-
on the fridge.
Get on the fridge. Are you getting married, Holly? You can get on the fridge if you're getting married. We'll be there. Get on the
I did
fridge,
say
Holly.
yes to the dress this weekend, though. Can I say that last weekend?
Go ahead. What?
I did say yes to the dress. I got my dress.
I can't wait, Allie from Crystal Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh. That name sounds familiar. It keeps
I've
coming.
known one of those before.
It keeps coming up. Holly Miller. No.
No, that's fine.
That's awesome. All right. Hang on a second here.
Silence.
uh
Silence. Boop,
what?
Boop, 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 boop. I'm filling in the dead airspace, man.
oh no.
Are you doing Never Forgotten? Because
Go ahead if you got something.
I do have it covered,
Hit it.
but you got to.
Do it.
I got to pull up the list.
Well, you better hurry your ass up because you got like a
3
couple
minutes.
Now we got to make room for Kendra. Typing. It is the anniversary. Today is the anniversary of Abbey Gate, folks. Remember those 13 Marines that sacrificed their
Oh.
lives. I know it's a rough day for a lot of Marines, so remember that shit.
Can I tell you
So
how
with that
many
note,
No,
calls
go
I fielded when that shit went down? Go ahead, Seth.
3
I'm
years.
trying to find the summed up list, so I don't.
Oh, were you going to do the same one?
Yeah,
Yeah. Today's Abbey Gate, folks. You don't have to by name it, man. People in the room.
No, my heart just fucking breaks.
I know it's a tough day for a lot of Marines.
So I'm assist certified, right? So applied suicide intervention skills certified.
Okay.
When that shit happened, I cannot tell you how much my phone was just off the fucking hook. Like so many veterans, Marines, and we're just like, it was all for nothing. And it fucking breaks my heart to think that that is what happened. And it feels like, not to go down into the bad place, but my heart goes out to all those families.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, as we bring the show to a close, we don't have to by name them
I got
because
it.
I think you know
We know who they are.
because
got
I
'em.
think you all know it. But today's the anniversary of Abbey Gate 3 years ago, and our nation's withdrawal from Afghanistan. So go ahead. If you got the names, go ahead, man.
I do.
Okay.
Lance Corporal David Espinoza, Sergeant Nicole Gee, Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover, Staff Sergeant Ryan Knass, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, Lance Corporal Kareem Nikuli, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak, Corporal Deegan Peg, and that is all from the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We really appreciate it. Remember those names tonight, and remember their sacrifice for our nation. Hey, we're making room for PTSD and pageants, and Kendra, don't change the dial. And it's going to be a good show, so don't change anything. Allie,
Appreciate
thanks a lot for
it.
tonight. Love you. Have a
Always.
great night.
Love
See you soon. Have a great night, folks. Bye.